But that is, I believe the problem with our society is that the materialistic aspect of our nature is not the priority. It's just one thing we should be doing. Of course we need good roads, of course we need hospitals, schools, food, etc. But we need to find a way of honouring the sacred. And I'm fascinated in the experiences you're having in these psychedelic explorations and how it's influencing the rest of your life. Like how you're saying, like how does it influence the rest of your decisions, the way you see the world, the way you see relationships, the way you see the vulnerable young man you were prior to building your own, I say, personal religion of martial arts, excellence in your chosen field of stand-up comedy. How do you incorporate that vulnerable kid? Because I'm still very aware of the vulnerable person I was, and like I'm going on a rant, man.
That's good.
Like when Kevin Hart was on here, who I think is amazing, and he was amazing on this, I thought, fucking hell, like what have I got to offer the world when Kevin Hart has got this kind of force? Like, you know, you don't come in the bubble, and I was like, my God, this guy is so positive. What a role model. What a lot he's got to offer. And then I thought, well, like any of us, what I've got to offer is who I am. Just who I am as a vulnerable, flawed human being that still feels connected to the kid I was when I didn't feel good enough. I still feel that. I can walk in a room and feel that. Yeah. But I also know that that's not real, because I've had spiritual experiences, hallucinogenic experiences that make me feel that the relationships we should be building have to honour that we're vulnerable and flawed, but also capable of greatness. There has to be room for all of this. And I feel that part of what we're doing and part of why we're experiencing such superficial polarity in politics and culture is because we're not acknowledging that underneath this surface activity of left, right, and you know from Sam Harris, them little experiments, you stick garbage in front of someone, they become Republican pretty quickly, or you scare people, they become less democratic. You know, I think all that stuff is pretty superficial, and at depth, in that realm of the jesters and the membrane of psychedelia, we have access to oneness, and that should be what's influencing the way we set up our tribes, our systems, and our relationships.
Yeah, and I think when a guy like Kevin Hart shows you what a positive and motivational impact one person can have just with his words and his deeds and the way he lives his life, he's so inspirational that you realize that is possible, that you can share that energy and that you can have these experiences with people where they literally actually uplift you. Like I was uplifted by his conversation. I felt like, wow, that guy is so positive. What a great way to look at the life that we're living. And the more people do that, the better. And when someone like that does spread a positive message, you know, and obviously he's materialistic as well. He's got a bunch of cars and a big house, and he makes a lot of money, and he does a lot of movies. But what he's spreading is this very motivational, very positive message, and that affects people in a very positive way too. And all that left-right shit and all this, all the battles that we have politically and ideologically back and forth, and all the negative venom that people spray at each other. At the end of the day, this is not benefiting anyone unless you're fighting some major demon that the world needs to conquer. And most of it's not that. Most of it is like finding demons out of innocuous things, you know. Yeah. And I think when you talk about what you have to offer, what you have to offer is that you are you, that you have this unique perspective. You can affect the way people view their own journey in life because you've been so introspective and so aware of your own pros and cons in terms of your past behavior, your current behavior, and who you are now and who you used to be. All that stuff is fuel for people because they can relate. They hear it. I mean, maybe they cannot relate to being a movie star and being this famous guy and but they can relate to the humanity of your struggle. They put themselves in your position. Like, what must that have been like? And look at this guy who's made these conscious decisions to not be like that anymore. And he dresses like a homeless person with a crazy beard.
That's the real take-home information. Dress like you live out of doors.
Yeah, dress like you're a homeless guy in Oregon.
Specifically there, people
Portland.
will respect that.
Yeah, it's like dark colors, you know, it rains a lot.
Yeah, I get it. I get the reference. I understand American culture, Joe Rogan. Yeah,